Shabbat Shalom. Today is the 7th day of the week. Because I finished reading Yohanan, and today what I normally do on the Shabbat, I open on random scriptures, then I read, and I ask Yahuwah for discernment. But because I'm doing that videos and I want to share with you this time, so I opened randomly on Ezekiel 33. So I'm going to read it. I believe everyone knows this chapter, but we see what's and ask Yahuwah. Please, Yahuwah, show us the deeper understanding, the deeper meaning of your word, and what you're going to tell us by it. Through the Ruach HaKodesh, our teacher, which you give us, you give to your children, so we can be instructed and walk in the light, in the darkness of this world. So, beloved, Shabbat Shalom to you. I'm reading Ezekiel 33 right now. And the word of Yahuwah came to me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of your people, and you should say to them, When I bring the sword upon the land, and the people of the land shall take a man from their borders, and shall make him their watchman, and he sees the sword coming upon the land, and shall blow with the shofar, and shall warn the people. Then whoever shall hear the voice of the shofar, and shall not take warning, if the sword comes and takes him away, his blood is on his own head. He heard the voice of the shofar, but he did not take warning. His blood is on himself, but he who takes warning shall deliver his being. But if the watchman sees the sword coming, and shall not blow with the shofar, and the people shall not be warned, and the sword comes and takes any being from among them, he is taken away in his crookedness, and his blood I require at the watchman's hand. And you, son of man, I have made you a watchman for the house of Israel, and you shall hear the word from my mouth, and you should warn them for me. When I say to the wrong, O wrong one, you should certainly die, and you have not spoken to warn the wrong from his way, the wrong one shall die in his crookedness, and his blood I require at your hand. But when you have warned the wrong to turn from his way, and he has not turned from his way, he shall die in his crookedness, but you have delivered your being. And you, O son of man, say to the house of Israel, This is what you have said. If our transgressions and our lie upon us, and we pine away in them, how then shall we live? Say to them, As I live, declares Adonai Yahuwah, I have no pleasure in the death of the wrong, but that the wrong turn from his way and live. Turn back from your evil ways, for why should you die, O house of Israel? And you, O son of man, say to the children of your people, The righteousness of the righteous man shall not deliver him in the day of transgression. And as for the wrongness of the wrong, he shall not stumble because of it in the day that he turns from his wrong. And the righteous shall not be able to live because of his righteousness in the day that he sins. When I say to the righteous that he shall live, and he has trusted in his righteousness, and shall do unrighteousness, none of his righteousness shall be remembered. but because of his unrighteousness that he has done, he shall die. And when I say to the wrong, you shall certainly die, if he turns from his sin and does right and righteousness, if the wrong restores the pledge, gives back who he has stolen, and walks in the laws of the life without doing crookedness, he shall certainly live, he shall not die. None of his sins which he has committed shall be remembered against him. He has done right and righteousness, he shall certainly live. And the children of your people have said, the way of Yahuwah is not fair, but it is their way which is not fair. When the righteous turns from his righteousness and does unrighteousness, he shall die because of it. But when the wrong turns from his wrongness and does right and righteousness, he shall live because of it. And you have said, the way of Yahuwah is not fair. O house of Israel, I should judge every one of you according to his own ways. And it came to be in the 12th year of our exile, in the 10th month, on the 5th of the new month, that one who had escaped from Jerusalem came to me and said, the city has been stricken, and the hand of Yahuwah came upon me the evening before the man came who had escaped, and he had opened my mouth before he came to me in the morning, and my mouth was opened, and I was no longer silent. Then the word of Yahuwah came to me, saying, Son of man, they who inhabit those ruins in the land of Israel are saying, Abraham was only one, and he inherited the land, but we are many. Let the land be given to us as a possession. Therefore say to them, Thus says Adonai Yahuwah, you eat meat with blood, and you lift up your eyes towards your idols, and shed blood. Should you then possess the land? You depend on your sword, and you commit abominations, and each of you defiles his neighbor's wife. Should you then possess the land? Say this to them, Thus says Adonai Yahuwah, as I live, those who are in the ruins shall fall by the sword, and the one who is in the open field shall give it to the beasts to be devoured, and those who are in the strongholds and caves shall die of the pestilence. And I should make the land a desert, a waste. The arrogance of the strength shall cease, and the mountains of Israel shall be a waste, with no one passing through. And they should know that I am Yahuwah, when I have made the land a desert and a waste, because of all the abominations which they have done. As for you, son of man, the children of your people are talking about you beside the walls and in the doors of the houses. And they speak to each other, each saying to his brother, Please come and hear what the word is that comes from Yahuwah. And they come to you as a people do, and they sit before you as my people, and they hear your words, but they do not do them. For with their mouth they show much love, their hearts pursue their greedy gain. And see, you are to them as the very lovely song of one who has beautiful voice and playing well on an instrument, and they hear your words, but they do not do them. And when it comes, see, it shall come. Then they should know that the prophet has been in their midst. I'm honestly speechless again, because if you see what I see, what you see in this word, you see the word when I was reading it, and you heard the word. I will keep speaking to you, and I don't care how many of you will listen. I don't care. I will keep doing it because I'm obedient to Yahuwah, because I need to warn you. If I don't warn you, I don't do what I was asked to do by Yahuwah. And I tell you, walk his ways. Don't rely on men. Because you will wake up in a hand with the smell, in a smelly toilet, and it will be too late. Because the time is coming and is already near that people will kiss the mark, the mark of the feet on the sand. Because the man will be very rare, like gold, or like a stone treasure. And you will have no one to ask for help. But if you don't establish the relationship with the Most High, and if He is not for you the number one, He should be the treasure, not the man, you will be lost. And He won't hear you. Seek Him until He is found. Turn from your ways. Turn from your worldly ways, your aspirations, your worldly desires, your comfortable ways of this world. Turn to Yahuwah. Put Him first. Don't excuse your behavior and say that's because Yahuwah likes it or He approves it, because you have Him in your heart, but you do opposite what He is asking you to do. You don't respect His commands, but you putting your desires in place of His word and justify your behavior by it, and saying Yahuwah is approving it, or I'm righteous. You put yourself in a position of righteous man. You're not the one to judge yourself, but He will judge you. You're not the one to say about yourself that you set apart. How prideful is this? Mind your ways. Turn from your wicked ways. Turn from your fleshly desires and your own wishes, your own things you do. Forget about your wishes. Forget about your plans for the future, for your own things, for your own establishment. Establish Yahuwah in your heart. Walk His ways. Do what He is asking you to. Hear, listen to His word. Understand that this, the only thing you need to understand, that if you don't obey His word, obey His ways, you perish. You need to love Him. That's the first and main command. Love Yahuwah with all your heart, all your mind, all your being. Okay? And love your neighbor as yourself. That's all what you need to do. The rest of it, is your own desire, your own commands for yourself, which you justify because it's pleasing you, because it's what you like to do. I'm warning you. Turn from this. Turn from your ways. Ask him what his desire is. Ask him. If you don't know, ask him. But I'm telling you, walk his ways, obey his word. You say, oh, how I can love Yahuwah, and how you love a man, how you love your partner, how you love someone, your son, your daughter, your mother. You love him more. How you love, what you do what pleases that person. You don't do what upsets that one, what hurts the person you love. You want to know everything about him, and you want to be obedient to Yahuwah because he wants good for you and he loves you first. You don't do opposite what he is asking to you to do. If he asking you to obey, to do his Shabbat, it's because he loves you. Would you upset him? Would you upset someone you really truly love? So that's the way you're showing the love. And you should love him because he gave himself for you, for all of his children. His blood saves, not a man's blood. Yahuwah is not a man. And his arm of deliverance is still Yahuwah, is the one being, is just his part, his working part, delivering part of him, his arm, which saves you. If you want to be saved. I love you. Yahuwah bless.